Hi, welcome back to Pedalboards of Doom. My name is Scott Gaylor. On today, before you buy, we are talking about the Keeley Rotary. So I thought I'd start this off really quick and talk to you about my history with Keeley so that there's no misconception with anything. I am a Keeley artist. I've been a Keeley artist since around 2017, maybe 2016. And I have used Keeley pedals on pretty much the last Kid Havoc record, Dirty Money, my solo record, Technicolor Monochrome, my solo record, Irish Exit, on different stuff for Satan's Taint, and Jack Harrison, and a bunch of other people. So Keeley pedals have been on pretty much everything that I use. I'm a big fan of all their drive stuff and pretty much everything they make. So just kind of wanted to get that out of the way. I am a fanboy, no doubt about it. Love my Keeley stuff, so just wanted to make sure everybody's on the same page. And this is a sponsored video. Keeley sent this out for me to demo. All thoughts and opinions are my own, of course, and here we go. Just so you know, all pedals are available through affiliate links in the description. That helps the channel, helps us grow, helps Pedalboards of Doom, helps our Facebook group, helps the YouTube algorithm gods, and everybody in between. So if you feel like buying one of these pedals and you click through that link, gives us a couple bucks, it doesn't cost you anything, and it helps everybody. Cool things they give you out of the gate is this cool little description card. Tells you everything you need to know, and it's a very quick thing. Plus it gives you a scan here, and that will allow you to see a digital kind of instruction booklet of this, and it's pretty straightforward. The big thing is it talks about the mid switch boost, for example. This switch toggles a slight mid boost down for flat, middle for slight to mid boost, up for a little bit more. And that's basically the preamp of a Leslie kind of thing. It's that drive sound. So one of my favorite drive sounds is Steve Ray Vaughan live, Texas Flood. That Leslie just screaming at the top of his lungs, just begging for mercy. And unfortunately, you can't get that sound. That's not a sound that you can get on a regular basis. You have to have, if you were to use a real Leslie, it's heavy, it's big, it takes a ton of work to get it to do the thing. You need to mod it. And let's face it, most of us are in in-ears and silent stages nowadays. It's just not something that's going to happen. And Strymon Flint has been a big thing for a lot of rotary style players. The Roto Vibe, actually mine, let's see if I have it. My Roto Vibe that I've had forever. This has been on a lot of stuff. This is on a record that I played on Poor Side of Town, Kid Havoc, on the Dirty Money CD. That whole solo is this pedal, and it catches the vibe, so no pun intended. And the Rotary does the same thing. So put that back over there. Love that pedal, but this is amazing. So what do you get with this? What's the deal with this? Well, a couple things. One, this light, simple. It shows you what it's doing. I know that sounds like kind of a no-brainer, but it really makes a difference because you can see speed. You have a chance of tapping in tempo or doing different stuff, and you have your slow and fast. But the big thing for me is this big old knob, right? I guess there's two knobs in this video, me and this big old knob. Sorry, that's a nod to John Cordy and his mess with JHS. Anyways, using this is simple. I can step on this pedal, turn it on, and then I can use the side of my foot to change my speed if I want to ramp things up or change things down, because there is not an expression pedal input on this. Like, you can't control this with a pedal. So this is all going to be either with your foot on that or that. Now, Robert has got a history of that. He knows that. So with like the Katana preamp, it's on the side of the pedal, so you could roll it with your foot. This is the same idea with that big knob here. Now, if you notice too, this casing is very similar to the Halo Core, the Zoma, the Beach Boys stuff that they did. It is their new enclosure. It was originally invented for, I think invented is the wrong word, but made for the Beach Boys release. They wanted to kind of go for a vintage vibe, and this definitely nailed it. Then they had some left over, and they made the first Halo Core, and now this has turned into a lot of cool things. So very cool, big plus. You got to drive, so you could use it as a drive channel a little bit. So obviously this should go in front of your amp. I wouldn't put this in the effects loop. And you got to blend how much of the vibe you want, how much of your guitar signal you want. 2 ins, 2 outs, true stereo, simple. 9 volt or 18 volt for headroom. I'd probably go 9 volt. I like my Leslie a little dirty, so I would keep it that way as it goes through. You get this beautiful, very nice pouch. You get a Keeley sticker. Of course, what sticker did I get this time? You get the Keeley sticker. And you get a pick that I've already lost because, well, that's what we do with picks. We lose picks. So what's my conclusion on this thing? Conclusion is simple. It is probably the best rotary pedal on the market. And I say that without fear. I think it does the Leslie thing so well, and the form factor and everything is great about it. So what are the negatives? Well, there's no MIDI. Simply, and that seems to be an ongoing trend right now. There's no MIDI on the Halo Core. There's no MIDI on the Zoma. There's no MIDI if you go on some of the big UA pedals. None of the new UA pedals have MIDI. So that's a downside, I think, with so many players venturing into the world of MIDI and so many people having switchers, and they've gotten away from big racks, but now they have this pedal board that essentially is a big rack, but you don't get any switching. But let's be honest, we're not really changing Leslie style sounds. If you want something that's going to change Leslie sounds with MIDI, I would probably go with the H9, because the Leslie sound in that is pretty solid as well. Other thing is this form factor. It's pretty big. And it kind of follows the old Voodoo Lab pedals, if you remember correctly. So Voodoo Labs had everything top mounted, and you could just put them side by side by side, and that's really what's going on. So if you look at the new Zoma, all the pedals I just mentioned earlier, they all could go side by side, be top mounted, top powered, and you wouldn't have any issue with it, and it would be simple. The last part of this, though, is that's what it looks like. So this is a Montreal assembly count to 5. And then which one is it? This one's 2018. I've got a couple of these things. I've got a green one too. And you can see it's pretty hefty. You know, it's about a pedal and a quarter, pedal and a third of the size of a traditional pedal. So, and I don't know, I think Montreal pedals are fairly sized, right? Height wise, they're about the same, and it's got a bit of a slope like that, so it gives your feet in the nice kind of position. I will say this is also a nice fun thing. This comes off, the jewel comes out. So with the jewel coming out, you could replace it to a color that you like, if that's a thing. I personally could care less, but one of my students saw this and was like, oh, I could change that to any color. And so when you did a quick look down, like say you've got a Zoma and you've got a Halo Core version 2 and the rotary, then you can see and say, oh, okay, I know what this is just based on color if you're doing the quick glance. So those are my thoughts. So let's run it down. What are all the pros? Absolutely best sounding rotary on the market. I don't think there's any question in that. I know people will say, well, that's because you're a Keeley guy. Yeah, but I also have an H9, I have an H90, I have the original Line 6 Tone Core, which I loved. I had a Flint, I sold a Flint. I've got Gravitas. I've got, I pretty much have all of them. I have some other rotary. I don't remember what it is. I don't know. I have a lot of pedals, and this so far has been my favorite. Now, big knobs. Love the big knobs. Easy to see, easy to move my foot and change. The buttons feel good. They're push button in the sense of you can do different things, and you can set and give it almost like a brake pattern. Well, not almost a brake pattern. You set up as a brake pattern. You can use as a drive pedal. All huge pluses. If I have to go two negatives, I would say the lack of MIDI and the size of the pedal. But the size of the pedal is only partly a negative, only because it, like I said, you could line these up side by side. So if you're a brand guy and you have a bunch of the same brand on your board, you would be okay with that. I think it could go on either direction. Hopefully you enjoyed the playing examples. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. My name is Scott Gaylor for Pedalboards of Doom. Please click like, subscribe, check our affiliate links. If you'd like to see more about Keeley pedals like the Keeley Mark III, click that video up here. That's Lee. Lee is the brains behind Pedalboards of Doom. And I will see you all very soon. Be good to each other. Be nice to each other. And I'll see you all next time. Peace.